How does this work? Hey, yes it has. And I'm still trying to figure out how this YouTube thing even works. Now people are over on essentially a dead stream because this thing didn't work the way I expected it to. So yes, a long time no see indeed, and I need to delete this scheduled live stream and then make this one the definitive one because of BS essentially. Yeah, I know. This is exactly what the stream is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a catch up stream. Essentially, talk about where I've been, what I've been doing, why I've been gone, sorry that I've been gone, that sort of stuff. And speaking of which, I'm very sorry I've been gone for pretty much 2 years. But technically speaking, I haven't really been gone. Y'all can hear me, right? I'm not just talking to the void, right? I haven't really tested all this stuff out. Okay, good. Uh, if anybody is here for any length of time, I appreciate you showing up just to see how I'm doing because I'm happy to talk at any particular point. First of all, I'm very sorry I've been gone. Technically, I haven't been gone. I've just been working on with Death Battle, posting stuff on my DeviantArt and stuff like that. So I've been active. I've even been posting stuff on my Twitter, which is something I usually don't mess with. You know, but yeah. This is my new apartment. Well, not really new. I've been here for like 2 or 3 years or something like that. But this is the apartment I've been living in since the last time you saw me, essentially. Um, due to the fact that me and Goat have moved in together, essentially, and we're sharing rent. So, yeah. How do I explain that? It's just straightforward. I'm in a new place because we needed a new apartment building to help accommodate his needs as well. I just remember you're actually the past no. Just tell us. Yeah. I'm honestly shocked that stuff like this can occur because normally back in the day I wouldn't pay no mind to not being available, but after 2 years I realized that I have been neglecting this channel, despite the fact I basically said I'm not coming back into reactions primarily because I already have a well-stable job, and YouTube, I don't know if you noticed, has been on fire recently about how they handle their policies and stuff. Heck, even a lot of my videos are still getting struck to this very day due to their new policies and stuff. So I said to myself, I made various promises, or should I say New Year's resolutions, when the new year started. I said I'm going to see my family more, so I'm planning some scheduled days out of my work to go see them more often throughout this year. And I told myself I am going to do something with this channel. And right now, this something is these live streams. I'm going to try and do my best to do a live stream every Saturday from this point onward, whether we talk about a new death battle that comes out, what I've been doing recently, this new stuff I've been doing, and when I get back into my original story, maybe talk about that for a little bit. I even have another tab open on my second screen about stream ideas. You know, like what if we do like tier lists of the MLP episodes or tier lists of recent death battles and stuff like that. You know, back and forth talking type of nonsense. I've also rewatched some of my stuff, and let me say I do not like myself very much. I listen to myself, and boy howdy, I am very dismissive. I am not all that talkative in a sense, and it sounds like I'm a psychopath. And after the 2 years, I gotta say I have to really look inside myself and say I need to be better. So I'm gonna now take everything more and express and answer questions that you may have for me a little bit better. Because, oh my god, I was annoying. I think it was in one of the streams where I didn't get that much sleep, or something like that, and I usually take, like, anytime, like, anybody showed up and they were, like, negative, I kind of took that negativity, brought in the negative aspects of myself, and really laid it on thick how negative I am most of the time, and I've changed since that portion. Not to say that I have no depression. No, that's still very much there. I'm just now living with it, you know what I mean? Decorated my room a little. Yeah, to an extent. I went to a convention, I think it was Comic-Con with Goat, and we got to meet various people. I got to meet the voice actors for Toph, even got a picture with her, considering that Toph is one of my favorite fictional characters and period. I was really happy to get not only a autograph, but a picture with her. Various other posters and stuff from Comic-Con, and I got to meet an old friend from college, and I don't know if you can see that. Hold on, let me... Yeah, the image that's right below the Kurama image, that's like smack dab in the middle of all that, at the bottom, it's human Bill Cipher and the Radio Demon shaking hands with each other, and she's amazing for drawing that. There's 3 streams, which are a lot of fun. Like I said, I appreciate that, and yeah, it's been a while since I remember doing that. It's helping to do when at depression, trying to buy with it, and this is one of those things to help me get by with it. Because I really remember enjoying talking to you guys, whether it was about some random nonsense or just devolving into simply telling me a death battle idea and just giving my 2 cents on it. I remember just sitting down and talking like this is really good. Not to mention, recently, my niece, one of my nieces, because I have several, one of my nieces wants to become a YouTuber. And with that, if I just start doing live streams a little bit more, start building up my audience again, essentially bring more people into the fold, I can actually, start helping out and understanding what to do when being a YouTuber. First things first, when you're becoming a YouTuber, make sure that in the very beginning, you understand what your channel is going to be about. Or you're going to be like me, who regrets being a reaction, who kind of regrets being a reaction channel and no longer doing reactions. So it stifles the audience, splinters the audience, and makes it so that now you're just a person sitting down on a chair and talking to people via a live stream. It's a process. Any other plans for content? Admittedly, not too big an MLP, but definitely these days doing art stuff. That's just it. The only art stuff that I've been doing, the recent art stuff I've been doing is the deplorable stuff that I cannot mention on stream, but if you've been following my DeviantArt, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's ending soon. I'm planning on ending that stuff. If you understand what I'm talking about, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, do not look too far into it, other than the fact that I've been doing some stuff, and recently it's been taking over my life, and I basically told myself, I am now going to stop this, and I'm going to make sure it's done by the end of the first quarter of this year, and get back into my original story. My original name was Do You Want to Build a Brony? I have since stopped really liking Frozen, and I may be a brony, but I no longer am doing MLP content, and Universal-Fro 1 rolls off the tongue a hell of a lot better. And two, it's something that was my username for a while on other things. I just never got a chance to actually, cement it. And now that I'm able to change the name, it makes more sense. Especially with my actual self-insert character that you may have seen with the afro that is all galaxies and stuff, and what you may have seen on certain things on my other channel. That's supposed to be me. It's supposed to be the fact that he has a universe in his fro. Universal-Fro? There you go. But as I was saying, I was hoping to get back into my original story, and if I am going to do a live stream, I might talk to you guys while also doing that as well, as I'm doing new pages, because I'm really hoping to get back into that. I did miss your intro, though. Beginning there was nothing, and then I showed up. I to this day don't know what's going through my head when I made that. I don't know if it's already asked, but will you be doing any more reactions? Look, here's the thing. I'm gonna rip this off like a band-aid. I've talked about this a little bit with some of my friends on Discord. I'm not a fan of Generation 5. I don't think Generation 5 is like the new age bad that certain other people are trying to make it out to be on certain reviews. But I will say I'm not enjoying myself like how I was enjoying myself with Generation 4. There is nothing inherently bad with Generation 5. It's just not what I want to watch. I'm trying to put this in matters of which not understand that I can understand myself. That when I watched the initial episodes on Netflix, I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe it was because of new characters. Maybe it's because I'm just so used to Twilight and all them. But Generation 5 just, I don't know. I don't see, and I'm doing my best not to call it lazy, like it's uninspired, because there's a lot of good that could be coming from it. Maybe it's because I've actually finally grown up. Who knows? It could be a myriad of different things. But in the end, if you like Generation 5 and enjoy it, enjoy Generation 5. And if there's something cool that happens, let's say Discord shows back up. Heck yeah, I might actually get out of my reaction clause and maybe see like a special Discord episode or something like that. But as of right now, nothing is hooking me to Generation 5. And I think it's the primary reason why is because I was really hoping this would be a brand new slate. But when I found out it's just Generation 4 again, but in the future, that kind of rubbed me a little bit the wrong way, because the whole thing about a generation is that it's supposed to be brand new, And I think that's just kind of stifled my enjoyment a little bit. And also, I'd like to apologize if I'm skipping over any comments or questions. I'm doing my best here, and I'm going to see if I can do it. Just ask it again if I haven't gotten to it in a while, and I swear I will get to it at that time. I'm just trying to keep up with chat this time. Definitely going to feel a lot different. You're definitely changed a lot, so the subject and talk, it takes some time to get used to. Yeah, understandable. And I don't know. I'm just trying to be better, I guess. Trying to make sure that I'm not, because I'm just trying to make this a chill thing, not trying to bring up any type of like, oh man, the state of YouTube is collapsing. Oh man, politics. All right, I just want to talk to you guys. I just want to sit down, have a decent conversation about random topics that you might have for me after the past 2 years have been gone. And then when other streams come out, other Saturdays, you might have like a more structured thing, because once Death Battle starts kicking back in, then we definitely have a topic to talk about all the stuff I'm going to be doing. Because let's just say I'm going to be doing the boards for pretty much every fight this season, and heck yeah, it's going to be something. It's a good name though. For a moment I saw, like, who's this? It's like, oh yeah. The rebranding is going to take some getting used to. Universal-Fro is definitely going to be like a thing that's going to like peter off a little bit. This is the new branding of the channel along with the new me, essentially. Just like how Gerard has this thing where he always has the beard. Picture me, but now I will always have my fro. I'm not planning on getting a haircut of getting rid of this thing anytime soon, so that's my new branding. Yeah, sometimes it may just be on a thing. Yeah, that. On a related note, Discord and Bill. See, personally speaking, since I'm not normally supposed to talk about who I would think win a particular battle, because it might give people the false impression that I'm giving away the victor and stuff like that, but I think it's okay for general opinions now. I'm at least 85% sure. For my personal pick, I think Discord beats Bill. I've been on this high horse saying that Bill isn't actually as strong people make him out to be a lot. on multiple occasions, people bring up like he's ruthless, he's very manipulative, and he one shot the Time Baby and all that sort of stuff. But then there's like a bunch of other stuff that kind of keeps Bill back, like the fact that he couldn't get out of a man-made shield, even despite the fact that he had infinite power due to Weird-Mageddon. He though he killed the Time Baby, he just killed the avatar of the Time Baby. He didn't actually wipe out time in existence. In of itself, the Time Baby was even stated to be coming back, being reborn. So it's just like he just delayed the inevitable of a next Time Baby coming back. And then he gets beat by the oldest trick in the book and gets basically one shot by another man-made weapon of getting rid of the memory. Getting rid of the memory of him. Granted, he's technically coming back because he did like a little spell thing, but that's neither here nor there of how that's confirmed or when he's coming back. But as for Discord, the one thing that gives Discord the edge in Bill is that we have to give Bill Weird-Mageddon. And the whole thing about Weird-Mageddon is that everything's chaotic, discordian, and crazy. Discord is literally the embodiment of chaos and disharmony. Meaning that literally Weird-Mageddon is a huge infinite battery for Discord as much as it is for Bill. So take two characters who you can even compare to be on par with each other, and now you give one of them a massive amp, while the other one is just having it because he needs it to use power. And that's where I believe Discord takes it. And that's it. Very happy. You feel it's very respectful. You explain that. Sure. And that's just it. Whenever I'm talking to like with friends and stuff like that, I'm hyperbolic and stuff like that. And I usually try to be hyperbolic with you guys as well. But then I realize you guys are not my friends. Don't take that the wrong way. When I say you guys are not my friends, I mean you guys are not the people who I hang out with on a regular basis who understand my personality. It's usually tied to the fact that I am very hyperbolic, very much always sarcastic, and 87% of the time not really meaning what I'm saying. Then I realize when I'm talking to people who don't know me as well as my actual friends do, they kind of take every word I say at face value, and I do not want to give off that impression. I want to make sure that these streams are like actually what you might get when you're talking to me normally. As a person. And if you want my opinions on stuff, I'll do my best just to be as straightforward as possible, because sometimes I get lost in translation. And that's what I mean by when I was listening to myself in my old live streams, since I was just completely and utterly just dismissive in many ways. It's like I could have gone up way more in detail with that, but I just didn't, and I hate that. You guys are my fans, subscribers, and can be my friends if we continue these streams to the point where I can open up and be more hyperbolic in that sort of way. Hopefully one of these days we can actually, go to like a convention together that's close by. Because thanks to this job, I have been recently getting a lot of finances of sort. And I'm planning on traveling more. Because I really need to get out of this house. I need to get out more in general. Yes, this is me canonically saying I need to start touching grass a little bit more. And I was thinking about going like the Nintendo World over I think in Hollywood, visiting family member. I already mentioned the visiting family members more. Maybe even visiting family members that are not even necessarily close to me. Essentially, visit Japan once for frick's sake. That sort of stuff. And I'm just trying to be more active. And this is a part of that, being more active with you guys. Save money. And okay, Chaos. If you're already gone, just know that thank you for being here, and thank you for everyone being here. Thoughts on Owl House? Seems like something like Steven's Steven Universe star you would like. Owl House. See, I have people on my Discord who like Owl House. I do not have time to invest in another series. Granted, I think there was one that I got into. No. It's hard to explain. I want to watch Our House, but I don't want to watch Our House. Does that make sense? No, it does not. Okay, let me go a little bit more in detail. I want to watch Spy X Family. I want to watch, actually get into Boruto so I can start judging it better. I want to watch a bunch of different shows, but I also don't want to do it because I'm either busy with Death Battle, sleeping, or both. And to be frank, I want to watch Owl House. I just don't think I have the time. Even when I do have the time, I don't want to watch it. It's very weird. I'm both lazy and productive, and I become lazy because I'm too productive. Does that make sense? None of this is making sense. Anyway, I do. What a new season of has like 8 episodes and the story written. In my opinion, maybe give it a few episodes and current season to look at. That's just it. I've been the guy to say that if you do not hook me in your show in the first 3 episodes, I don't think you are the show that I want to watch. And while there are examples of shows that get way better in like the 2nd season or something like that, my mantra is, why do I have to suffer through an entire season, or in this case 3 hours of content, to get to the good stuff? And while I understand, sometimes suffering through the bad to get to the good, and maybe making the bad good because it retroactively fixes some of the bad that was in the previous season, is something. But it was like with Korra with me. When I watched the first season of Korra, I just wasn't into it. So I didn't want to get into season 2. And then I heard season 3 was great, but I was like, I don't want to go through a whole other season of Korra to get to the good season. Now, if I watched a good season, then I wouldn't get it because I might be missing out on stuff that actually happened in the other seasons. So it's just kind of this weird dichotomy kind of thing. So for me, if I am going to go back into Generation 5, it's going to be on a vacation day where I have nothing else better to do, and it just happens to be on my mind to watch it. But I will take your word for it that the newest episodes are probably good. I just don't want to watch what probably is bad just to get what probably is good. Because again, it's always subjective, right? If it's good to you, it might still be bad to me. Who knows? Yeah, that's another reason why I wanted to do Universal-Fro, because it is a little bit easier to remember. Because you don't know how many times I've had people on either videos or just my comment section of various things I've been on. Is that, what does DYWTBA mean? Or, man, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, Brody. It's like, okay, Universal-Fro. It rolls off the tongue. It's there. There you go. It's going to take some getting used to, but it's much better in the long run. Yeah, so, yeah, and I should say, it's also a bitch type. ER, he's super funny in here. Was anything funny? Yeah, actually, ER, if it's the same guy that did the Korra reviews, I have watched him. He's great. He's actually the one guy who actually can properly articulate why I didn't find enjoyment out of Korra in his own jokey manner. And Season 4 made me realize Discord is not omnipotent, just has a very versatile power. Yes, like Discord can be beaten. Like he's very much limited in various ways. I just think he has a lot more going for him in the fight. New content. I'm worrying if in charge of you'd have it in charge of time. Yeah, no worries. So, you know me. Player only gets. Yeah, I gotta keep some distance between the audience and entertainer. Yeah. Does he cry some more? Something. Sadly, invitation in America due to being Australian. My question is, what happened to you for the last 2 years? You real silent. That's just it. Nothing really happened. I just didn't want to do anything YouTube related anymore. I will say I do regret not having like a clear video or comment on my YouTube saying that I'm just essentially out. Just my mentality was, I just don't want to do this anymore. So I just did other stuff. I talked to my people on my Discord. I'm very active on my Discord. When people ask for some stuff on my Discord, I am willing to do it. Granted, people don't tend to do it. Recently, people have just been asking my characters questions in a very particular tab, but that's about it. But if there is a topic at hand that you want to talk to me about, I'm usually active and able to answer on my Discord if you at me. And my DeviantArt, I'm on my DeviantArt page. I post stuff there in my art. And then there's Death Battle. If you watch Death Battle and you watch the recent season, I existed. I did all of that with my own 2 hands. So it's not like I was like gone and I was just avoiding the internet. It's just that just the one thing I sacrificed in the amount of stuff that I've been doing was YouTube time. And now I'm trying to bring that back with the Saturday streams. Nowadays, you ought to be doing other things. Don't worry, people overhype it too much. The whole plot conveniences and identity politics are super intrusive. Yeah, the Owl House is pretty good, but the plot problems it has, especially in season 2, or thing glossed over because it's praised so much. And really, I don't think there is such a thing as a show that is perfect, obviously, because perfection, it requires not a single problem. And the whole deal is when you have a piece of media, which is essentially just art, you're gonna find somebody with a problem with it. Slash, people are not perfect, so they're not gonna make a perfect product. Owl House, if it's even a 7 out of 10, I think it's worth watching. In itself, it's good. I meant bad. To be fair, and I don't want to say you should watch G5, just it's their own, but the same thing happened to me with G4, really did. The first season, personally. And that's just it. I love the first season of Generation 4. And that's the whole thing. When I watched the first season of Generation 4, I just was like, yeah, this seems like the show that I can actually get into. Actually, if you know my origin story of being a reactor MLP, if it wasn't for the fact that the first couple of episodes of Generation 1 was that good, I wouldn't even be a YouTuber. So, yeah, I'm not, and I just didn't get that with the first season of first few episodes, I guess, of Generation 5. I'm not doubting that the writing doesn't get better. I am almost entirely certain that the writing can get better. It's just at this current point where I'm already low on time as is. It's just kind of like a gamble of should I use my time for this or should I go back to work. Anyways, I got stuff done. All right, later, Akira. Sonic Prime. No, okay. Sonic Prime I did check out primarily because I am a closet Sonic fan. I'm a classic Sonic fan. When Sonic Prime came out, I watched it all the way through, all the way up to the end of the part 1, and I have to say it is decent. I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's the greatest Sonic show of all time, but I do like the ideas it has. I just have a few problems with its structure and its pacing with the universes that they're hopping through. And that's it. Streaming is her says that you use despite the controversy surrounding them. I use all of them, essentially. Because when it comes to controversies and stuff like that, my mantra in life is that if it's not hurting anybody, like physically or, overall emotionally, and doesn't really affect me unless I really look deep into it, odds to say that I'm probably going to be in a neutral standpoint with it. Is there bad stuff going on with HBO? Is there bad stuff that's happening with Netflix? Is there bad stuff happening with literally every other streaming service that's under the goddamn sun? Probably. Does it affect me if I don't know anything about it? As of right now, as I'm watching South Park on HBO, not really. However, if I look into it and actually put my 2 cents in, then probably. But think of any streaming service, and I probably have it. I have HBO Max, Netflix, Paramount Plus. I don't believe I have Hulu. I'm most entirely certain I don't have Hulu. What do you do for work? I am a storyboard artist. I am a storyboard artist for Death Battle. I do boards, and I draw for them sometimes. I'm also sometimes an animator. That gets harshly criticized because my animation work kind of sucks. And I understand I am kind of bad at animating, mostly because I'm a storyboard artist. I'm not really good when it comes to frames, And coupled with the fact that the time it takes for me to get something done is a lot slower than what normal actual animators tend to do. Yeah, I can understand why whenever I see reaction videos of the newest Death Battle and they get to my stuff that they think it's bad. And I understand. That's why I will do better next time. There was one thing that people liked, though. People seem to like my SpongeBob. So that's cool. Yeah, I work for Death Battle. I've been working for Death Battle for the past 3 to almost 4 years now. It's a very Peacock TV. Is that a streaming service? just tend to stay to myself. My motto is, if you don't involve me, I don't want to be involved. Basically, that's kind of like it's kind of like the same with me. It's like, unless you're hurting somebody, I'm not gonna put anything into it. If you have your own opinion, and if people think that's a bad opinion or something like that, in the end, I know that it's strictly your opinion. We can go back and forth about what my opinion is to your opinion, but in the end, it's like, you're not hurting me, right? I'm not hurting you. You're not hurting anyone else. So the amount of effort we could put into it can just be surface level. Okay, you have this, I have that. Let's just understand that we're human beings and just kind of go along with whatever it is that we got. You know? Now, if you're actually hurting somebody, then we got an issue. Yeah, they've been good. Like, obviously, I'm gonna say they've been good because on live stream, you know, if they see this live stream, if I say anything bad, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. I'm joking, obviously. No, Death Battle's been great. I'm in this weird relationship with Death Battle right now where I feel as though that I'm useless, but I only feel that because I'm not really a part of anything else that they tend to do, like, you know, their Death Battle casts and stuff like that. And then I realize I can't go on Death Battle cast. I would make myself look like an idiot. And so this constant perpetual motion machine of, I feel good. Wait a second. No, I don't. Wait, I have a reason why. Okay, yeah. No, I feel good again. You know what I mean? It's very weird. This constant loop of, yeah, I understand why I'm currently, like, in the back seat of things. That's why people don't know that I work for Death Battle. How many people actually know I work for Death Battle? I'm just kind of like a roadie at this point. I just work behind the scenes, do my job, and just be done with it. I'm getting paid. I don't really care about anything else. I don't need clout about being part of Death Battle. What are you currently watching, if not other shows? I'm trying to make some time to watch Arcane. I can't answer that question properly, primarily because I just randomly watch something if I am in the mood to watch it. Like Sonic Prime, for instance, was just a spur of the moment. I want to watch that, and I watched it all the way through. And yet, I wanted to watch Spy X Family for the past however long it's been out, and I still have the tab open to this day. Didn't even watch the first episode. So, I don't know, man. Asked you about Death Battle, but you haven't seen the show one of them is from yet. Should I still ask? I mean, you can still ask. I mean, it just depends on how deep the question goes, you know? I could do some basic-ass research online if you're talking about, like, who would win in a fight or something like that. Just depends. Just ask the question. I'll let you know if I have anything to say about it, I guess. It's best to try than not. Whatever that saying is supposed to be. For internet stuff, it's not bad. I mean, WizPop got Richard on zero budget. Yeah, Peacock TV is like the only streaming service that has all of Harry Potter for some damn reason. Huh. HBO Max also has all of Harry Potter. That's interesting. Okay, Peacock TV is a streaming service. Interesting. Because I know HBO has it because I think it was like a few months ago, I recently rewatched the entire all the Harry Potter movies and remember just how good of a franchise that was. Is NBC program and also WWE. I see. Okay, that's interesting. I don't have that streaming service. Hope if you guys have it, sounds good. And DVD called Fashion, but quote Batman. Sometimes the ways are best. At least they mentioned you and your boys. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, that's all I really need. If they like my work to a point where they just reference it or something like that, you know, we got probably on Twitter. That's follow / just mention me on Twitter about various things that we've done. That is all I need. In the form of recognition, I really don't care. I mean, look at this channel, for instance. I name one time that I unironically did a call to action of remember to like and subscribe and ding that bell. Like, I never did that throughout my entire YouTube career because I'm like, if you like my stuff, you're just gonna like it and come by anyway. You don't really need to subscribe unless you actually need to define my content like how YouTube is. If you know me, like me, you're just gonna find me on YouTube. Same goes here. If they know my stuff, like my stuff, and they mention me, that's all I need. People, what they get, same field, entertainment, audio, drama. People tell when you don't care about what you're doing, and you give it the same. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I know. People make time. I thought since people got you what you're doing, do what you enjoy. Yeah, essentially. Yeah. That's the basic gist of it. If I'm trying to enjoy, I've always trying to do this balancing act of doing what I enjoy, but also making it so that it's enjoyable to other people. And it's always a double-edged sword because there are people to this day who say, man, this movie's bad. I hate this movie. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's a dumb movie because I don't like it and it didn't appeal to my needs as what I expected this movie to be. And then you talk to the director, and then the director's like, this is something that I enjoy and I want to show it out to the people. And so that's why I always have like a two side grading system. I have my personal opinion, and then I have what I deem as the objective opinion. And objective can mean many different things in my language because I think a few people on my Discord know about this. If I don't like something personally, I will give it a low score, like a 2 out of 10 or something like that. But then I look into the actual background as to what the director was going for, and I determine whether or not the director has successfully executed their vision. And then I grade it on that scale, which is usually a 9 to almost a 10. Because usually the director knows what they're trying to do, right? So if the director gets what he wants out, that's good. Meaning that he did what he wanted to do for his enjoyment. It's just that for me, it wasn't that enjoyable. And that's where I come in the middle. Where I want to do this because I want to have fun with you guys and talk to you guys. But not at the detriment of my mental health. That sort of stuff. So this is good. Alright, thoughts on Yor versus Roberta. Okay. Let me look up those two characters. See if I can give a general opinion. Okay, Roberta from Black Lagoon versus Yor from Swag's family. Okay. Now I know these characters purely for that. Okay. Black Lagoon is another anime I need to get into, and the one thing I do know about both of these characters is that they're high-grade assassin women. One protects a child while the other technically also protects a child due to the fact that it's a mom. I know nothing about their power output, but I do like the idea where this is coming from. I have no clue if one stomps the other, but I do get why this fight is a thing, and I appreciate it. My thoughts are I like it, and if we are ever gonna do it, I would love to board this because I've been very adamant in people understanding this. I love drawing the female figure a lot because I just think it's a lot more dynamic than male figure. Yeah, I don't know. I literally made a comic about women just so I know how to draw women better. Media just keeps, and that will happen when streaming services collapse and pressure to report. Size. See, that's just it. People have brought up the fact that cable is a little bit better than streaming services because you're paying so much for each separate streaming service for each separate thing instead of cable that just takes a bunch of different things and globs it all together. But the only difference is with streaming services, you can actually watch whatever you feel like at the time, at any point in time. While cable, you have to wait until it comes on and go through ads a lot worse as you're trying to enjoy the product. So it's always a double-edged sword for either one you go for. Do I say it if someone likes my content? Well, like I'm not going to ask for likes if people don't want to do it. Yeah, that's just it. I never want to do stuff like that. Like, if you've been on YouTube even for 7 days, you already know how the system works. You know how subscribing works. You know how liking works. Why do I have to remind you how these basic functions of this channel works? You clearly know. So if you feel like it, you'll think about it yourself. That's how much you enjoy my stuff. That you think about it yourself and do it. Not that I have to tell you. Even if the statistics say that doing it does raise more, it's like I don't need that. Okay, so you high and dry, and then the next box is not an entertaining service, just grunts. So it's drug style. Like, that was the main issue for JoJo Part 6. JoJo Part 6 isn't my favorite JoJo part. I'd say it's third best. Yeah, third best. And they did that part dirty with how unbelievably horrible they handled their batching service. Like, period. I think it would have been better if an episode came out a week than just an entire handful of episodes, and then we just wait months for the next match. It was terrible. Same on that. I know. There's people like, comment, subscribe. They enjoy it. And just for the BNC care numbers versus the people. Exactly. Gotta go fast and clean dishes. All right. Good luck. Yo, it's been a while. I've been doing fine. I've been doing better. I've been doing good. I've been doing some soul searching and some talking with various individuals that say they have a degree in talking to people, and I have now come to the consensus that I am better at handling things that I wasn't good at handling before. Yeah, I think that's the best I can put it. I'm sorry if you don't have time for TV shows recommendations, but have you ever heard of the show called Infinity Train? I have heard of Infinity Train. Actually, I remember having a moment with Goat where we saw Infinity Train and thought we were under the false impression Infinity Train was canceled on like its first season. Nope, it has multiple seasons. Don't know jack shit of what's going on since we only saw the thumbnails of all the episodes that were out on the streaming service that we were on, and we're interested in it. It's just like, again, I don't think I have time to actually watch it unless I just am in the mood. Because here's the thing. Usually, if I want to watch something, I have to have a full concentration and want to watch it. And if I'm interested, I want to watch it all the way through, which usually takes hours of the time. But due to work, I have to make sure I balance that. And I don't want to do work while also listening to the episode in the background because I want to give the show my full attention and not, dilute it. And that sort of stuff. So it's this weird kind of mismatch kind of thing. Try to freedom. It takes to make something work. Oh my god, how long? Nathan, if I said something earlier to warrant the oh my god, how long? Say it again, because I forgot. Unless you were talking to somebody else. That one guy, I've been doing great. Trying these streams out every Saturday. I'm gonna be doing these things. Very background, by the way. This was a gift from one of my friends on Discord. His name is he goes by Bez, and he's been doing this thing where he just goes out and finds artists and gives them ideas for my characters and draws them. Currently, what you're looking at right here. Let's just kind of like. You have Judo in the center. You have Hirota, and then you have Alice. Hirota and Alice are Judo's canonical children in the story, and I just thought it was amazing that he went out of his way to find an artist like this to do this nice little wholesome family bonding time. I just love it, and thanks, thank him, thanks the actual artist. I'm trying to look up the name right now so I could just give them a shout out again because I shared this on various media outlets. I just need to find it. But yeah, no, I love this. I love this to the point. You're gonna be seeing this pretty much every stream at this point because I want to show this off as much as possible. This is amazing. Can't seem to find it, which sucks. I might do it later and put it like somewhere in the description maybe when the actual video gets posted, or maybe I'm just skipping over it and I'm not entirely sure. But we'll see. But yeah, thanks. Have you seen New Puss in Boots? Yes, I have. It's a great movie. Fantastic. Anytime anyone's on the internet and it's like, man, this isn't going to be any good, and it's like, and they were wrong, yes. Yeah, all that is very much factual. I'm not going to say anything to spoil anything. Just know that it's a very good movie, and I really recommend watching it. I think it's peak DreamWorks. It's DreamWorks at its finest, because I'm going to be honest, Shrek 5 was a meme. Shrek 5 was one of the biggest memes that has ever come out after Shrek 4. It's like, Shrek 5, yeah, no, Shrek forever, Shrek is love, Shrek is life, Shrek. But after watching Puss in Boots, I'm unironically excited to see what they have in store for Shrek 5. Like, I've actually become converted into the point where I'm actually excited to see what that universe has to offer after the brilliance that was that movie. So, yeah. Watch a video. I don't watch a video and then dang, this person don't like their stuff. Oh, we should hit that like button. Thanks, streamer. Do you ever get a chance to play Deltarune Chapter 2? Yes. I did play. I am keeping up with Deltarune. Despite not doing streams about it, I am keeping up with Deltarune. Deltarune is a very fun, engaging, Undertale-like experience that has all the bells and whistles that you would expect. I just wish the full game, the full experience of what's happening is out. Because, I'm going to be honest, I'm not a fan of a near 2 to 3 hour experience and then having to wait years at a time to get the next installment, and the only thing keeping me together is the internet's ability to make anything from nothing. And the memes, of course. So Deltarune is fantastic. I just wish it didn't take forever and a half to get the next stuff. I know video game development is hard, and the ideas that Toby Fox has to offer is definitely on the upper scale of he needs this time to get this stuff down. But it doesn't mean I like the wait. I just meant, has it been since you were last on YouTube? Oh, 2 years. 2.5 years or something like that. Nathan, 2.5 years or something like that. And that's just it. And now, as of right now, currently, changing. Hopefully. You'd heard the anime Plastic Memories? No, I have not, so let me copy this. Have not seen or heard anything about this particular anime, but it looks wholesome, to say the least. You just heard what you were doing, which is fine. Yeah, understandable. Not everyone's going to be on Discord. Not everyone's going to be on Twitter. Not everyone's going to be here, there, everywhere, yada, yada, yada. I'm just doing my best. And now I'm coming back over here because I understand people cannot do the other ones, so I'm going to bring this one back so I can talk to them and people like you and others. Hopefully build up something else, that sort of stuff. Have you seen 3GI's fan-made Shrek Retold? Yeah. I did not endure any pain. I fully enjoyed myself. I'm into that kind of humor sometimes, and when it comes to Shrek, what did I come to expect? It was pretty good. No, that would actually be great. Yeah, no, straight up. I watched the first Puss in Boots. I'm not gonna call the first Puss in Boots bad. I will say though it is definitely a 6 out of 10, a 6 to 7 out of 10 experience, and know that my scaling is a lot different. It's kind of like Angry Joe's scaling, where it's more if you're a 5, you're average. If you're a 5, you're average. I know it sounds weird because IGN and a bunch of other different media outlets made, 7s and 6s the average, and especially when it comes to like schools and stuff like that, 7 to 70 is a C. But for me, if you're doing a 1 to 10 scale, if you're in the middle, you are middle of the road. That is the middle of the road. You're middle. You're 5. And then you give above that, then you're worth watching in some way. And I think Puss in Boots is at least a 6 or a 7. Puss in Boots 2, it's like a 9. Almost a 10, actually. I'm very willing to just give it a 10. Because this is how good it is. So, to be pleasantly surprised on something like Puss in Boots 2. It's really good. I'm glad that you're living your life and the way you want to be. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. Yes, I have seen all the Spider-Man movies, especially my favorite one. I'm gonna be and since we're being honest here, I do not like Spider-Man. Homecoming and Far From Home. I'm not gonna call them bad. Once again, I'd say they're 7s to pretty much 8s. See, it's still pretty high on the scale. It's just I wasn't enjoying Spider-Man. Tom Holland is great. He's a great actor, and he does a great job. And the Spider-Man that they wanted to do is fantastic. But I'm too up my own butt about the kind of Spider-Man that I like to see. I like to see the struggling Peter Parker mixing in with this other life, not really fully powerful, trying to use the best of his abilities type of Peter Parker. But this Peter Parker already got like a major amp and continuously got amps from Tony and all the other different stuff. And his social life was pretty much on point pretty much, and he wasn't really suffering all that much. It's like, is it bad to want a character to suffer? It's debatable. But when No Way Home came out, I didn't like the movie purely because the two other Spider-Man were in there. I loved the movie because it actually gave Tom Holland a legitimate, actual developmental cycle. And it's great. I thought it was executed properly. And when that episode and when that movie came out, it made me appreciate the first two movies, which then brought them from a 7 to an 8 to almost a 9. Because I see now that the first two movies were leading up to this big differential change in their Spider-Man character. And that's why I liked it so much. So to tell you the truth, in the beginning didn't like it, but now I'm just about with everyone else saying it's pretty much the best Spider-Man we've gotten in a while. That was really good. Warning. And it's hard to find. Great. Wonderful. Wholesome going into sad territory. My favorite kind of animes. You're backing. Renamed yourself Universal-Fro. It's been 2 years. Our actions. Okay. Wow. Fire breather. Yeah, I remember you as a user. Since you weren't here from the beginning, allow me to reiterate a bunch of stuff, going down the list of things. I renamed myself because Do You Want to Build a Brony is, 1, a mouthful, no longer me, and Universal-Fro rolls off the tongue better, fits my character a heck of a lot better due to who I am now, and yeah, I was doing other stuff such as Death Battle, art, and Discord shenanigans, and just hanging out with friends in real life and real life in general. Yes, it has been over 2 years because I purposely want to not come back to YouTube for the reasons of I just was tired of it at the time. But now after some deep connectional speaking with myself, I now feel as though that I can come back and feel properly okay with talking to you guys again. And no, I don't think I'm ever going back into blind reactions as a actual thing I'm doing. Ever. Period. And I've been saying that for a long time. I've been saying that before I even left, that I was done with blind reactions. Because I'm just not that guy anymore. I'm not the person to do blind reactions. Now, if there's like a situation at hand that during one of these streams and there's like a clear-cut, non-copyrightable video, we can probably like moist critical, Asmongold this, and I can like screen cap a video and watch it with you guys. But the actual implication of me doing that, it's probably not going to happen. In this movie, no, I have not seen that movie, Mian. But Bid is considered bad these days. Yeah. Sadly. But to me, Mid is good. If Mid is worth watching. Make a movie really bad and almost unwatchable. Very much. I also agree to that statement. It also really depends on what exactly that they're shooting for. I say they increase his level of suffering in each movie. Yeah, and I agree with that. Yeah, and that's just like, once they reach the apex of his suffering, then I realize it's like, oh, I see what you're doing, especially here and now. And it probably would not have hit as hard if it wasn't for the fact that the other two Spider-Man were there, to be perfectly honest. Because who is the best person to talk to you about this kind of stuff than people who have literally been through the exact same thing as you? What kind of mic you use and how much was it? I'm trying to start streaming again to Oblivion. Sims. Mic is broken. Hold on. I can actually go on my Amazon and look at the thing. I'm telling you, man. These "are you a robot" things are just getting dumber and dumber. It's like, I'm pretty sure a robot, if it's even called a robot, would understand they can do that too. USB microphone MAONO 192k hertz. 24-bit plug-and-play PC computer podcast condenser. Oh my god, this is a long-ass name. I paid... around 100 for this. You could probably find it for cheaper. Yeah, see, I love getting hit with a semi-truck feel. Some kind of animes, yeah. Something like that I used to have. My channel, I never. Let's see how hard it hit. Hey, Black Conduit. Started bringing it up in video train again, but the only way to watch the show now is either buying the show or pirating it online. However, just no. We found it on the Street Room website not too long ago. We found all the seasons that are out on a streaming website. I need to find. I'm gonna look it up because apparently this is an actual point of contention. I strictly remember having a streaming, seeing it streaming, unless they just recently did it. Yeah. Well, it was Amazon. We can watch all of them on Amazon. And oh yeah, streaming service. I also had Amazon Prime. But here's the thing: I've had Amazon Prime since Prime was ever really a thing before actual videos were even supposed to be like the main crux of it. So yeah, on Amazon Prime, they're all on Amazon Prime. I don't know if that's good for you guys. I have no clue what the consensus on Amazon Prime is. Question 1. The biggest events in animation recently has been Arcane. Have you watched it? And if so, I have not watched Arcane primarily because I don't want to get into League in any way, shape, or form. Period. Even if Arcane is literally the only branch subset of League that exists in all of mankind, I don't want to get into League. The only thing I've ever gotten to League was the death battle with Harley Quinn versus Jinx. Now, I'm not saying that Arcane is not worth watching. I am simply saying that I don't want to watch it because if I enjoy it, I'm going to want more. And if I want more, I'm going to get into this is me doing myself a favor. This is me doing myself a favor. I have a problem, all right, with taking things a little too far. When I got into Yu-Gi-Oh, I took Yu-Gi-Oh too far. I bought a bunch of cards. I spent literally $600 on a bunch of cards. And I regret it to this day. Same goes for gacha games. Same goes for stuff like that. So I have a feeling that if I watch Arcane, and I love Arcane, I'm going to actually get in the League. I'm going to hate my life. So until I figure out what's my problem with that sort of stuff, I might watch Arcane on like an off time. But I did hear nothing but good things about Arcane. Arcane, feel free to remind me. Did Arcane win the award on the Game Awards? Right? It was either that or Cyberpunk. I'm pretty sure it was Arcane. Right? Yeah, it was Arcane. Arcane won, and I think that's a award well deserved. Yeah, it was well deserved. Even though I watched the Cyberpunk thing because weeb, anime. I do think Arcane, despite never watching it, does deserve what it got because the clips I saw of it definitely were that good. I might be here for a while. I want to drop by and say hi. Hi. Congrats. My son's achievements you've accomplished through years. Thank you. Thank you, Average. I appreciate that. And I hope you have a good whatever you're doing, and if you can make any other stream for any other Saturday. And if I have to, I might change it to Sundays if more people are free. It's just the fact that Sunday's usually D&D day, and usually I spend my time with the guys over on Discord for Sunday, and I don't want to make that any more bloated than it already is. But I'll change it if it helps with people's schedules a little bit more. Fair enough, thanks. Okay. Also, like actual TV awards, that's good. Have any of the death battles made you want to learn more about the characters you were drawing? Hold on. Let me go through the pantheon of saved battles I have to see if there was ever a moment like that. Because I'm a huge nerd. So most of these animes that we do, I kind of already know about. So there's not really ever much of a moment where I'm like, yeah, oh man, this character's kind of cool. I want to know more about them. Because usually I already kind of know so much about them. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm really good at my job. Because since I know them so much, I kind of know what they would probably do / act in a fight, even if the script says otherwise. So we have Yoda versus King Mickey, who knows both of them. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, love Star Wars. Shadow versus Ryuko, the consensus matchup, but I love Sonic and I also love Kill la Kill. Lex versus Doom, never been that much of a comic book guy, so I don't think any comic book matchup is really going to ever make me be like, yes, I want to know more about this character. I love Heihachi after realizing that he's actually the good guy. Don't know much about Geese, but I never really was that interested in them anyway. Blake versus Mikasa, I already liked Attack on Titan for much as I could. Ruby, Iron Fist versus Poe. To Steven Star, Link versus Cloud, Batman, Iron Man. Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, Dio Alucard, Shao Kahn versus Akuma, Storm versus Korra, Mara versus Aizen, Saitama versus Popeye. No, I don't think there's ever been like a situation where there wasn't already a character that I knew about that I didn't want to know more about since I already know so much about them. If that makes sense. Let me try that sentence again. There's not been a moment where I did a character and I want to learn more about them throughout the series because I already knew them. Remember the Bill Clinton kid? The Bill Clinton kid. Yeah. Here's the thing. While that kid will go down in infamy as the guy who did it during Elden Ring's award, mind you, which makes it even more ironic. Jeff is going to make sure that will never happen again. That's the whole thing about making mistakes. You have to have the mistake happen so you learn from it later. So I can't wait till the next Game Awards. You're gonna have security up the ass because he got up there too easily. Where at family dinner on Saturdays. All right. Yeah. This is just gonna be the background drop over pretty much every stream until it says otherwise. Like, I love this image too much. I cannot. This will forever be my screensaver. It's forever be my favorite image ever. Right next to the other image that Bez managed to get for me with Judo and Icon. No, probably not. Due to the fact that I'm just not doing it anymore. I can promise you that later in life I'm gonna finish the series itself, because in the series itself it's interesting enough to watch. The Detective is good. I think that's a nice mystery song thing. I find the animation pretty good. I'm a very easily pleased person when it comes to certain media, which is why whenever you see me complain about a piece of media, you know they probably did something wrong, because it does not take that much to have me say you've done a good job. All right. So Detention Air, it's a good series. It does what it needs to do to be a good series. Then you have other series out there that I will not name names because I don't want to turn this to a drama podcast. Damn good, which is too wholesome. No, that kid man say get past security. And that's just it, because there was no security. It was just, hey, these guys win the award. No one's going to be dumb enough to try to walk up on stage with them, right? That's not possible. Because when I first saw the kid, I thought he was just like a child of one of the developers or something like that. He was like, he just was going to be up there because he wanted to be by his dad or some stuff like that. But when he came up to the mic and says he just wants to perform Rabbi Bill Clinton, it's like, okay. I'm pretty sure that wasn't supposed to be the case. But, yeah. But I could see how he could just slip through, because he's just a kid. He's just so small, and he was actually, and the fact that he was wearing basically the same kind of colorization that everyone else that was walking up there just wearing all black, he kind of just blended in. He really did. And if we work in the right place, your job. I am doing the best that I can, and that is the best I can do. My job is just do my best and don't mess up. And I think I've been pulling that off pretty well. There are moments where I feel as though that I'm not doing the best I could. Like, for Deku versus Asta, the final shot with Deku raising his hand up into the sky, that's me. And then it's like, man, I could have done better with that. I really could have. I say that for pretty much every one of my animations. Alright, hold on. Let's do this. That is a good mantra. Say your favorite seed recently. Oh, well, actually, we're getting to it, actually. That, like, right down here-ish. Like, this entire sequence, alright, this back shot of Aquaman, and this entire sequence right here, of SpongeBob and his talking, that was all me. I would say that is my favorite moment because I didn't think I could actually pull that off. Because, again, I'm not a very good animator. I'm not a very good person doing this sort of stuff to begin with. So, to be able to draw SpongeBob, at least halfway decently enough, and it's like I just thought that was a good achievement for me because I never thought I could pull something off like that. But then there are other moments in other fights where I think I could have done better. Like it's just kind of drawing of the differences in art style. I think the first and most obvious development was Ma vs. Tatsumaki, where me, Zach, Luis, and I think maybe one or two other people were all we're all supposed to do a thing, and then it's like clearly mine is a standout kind of thing because that was the first time I was ever animating anything period for anything. And then you have let's see, and then you have Deku versus Asta. Yeah, and this was me, and it's like, while it's good, it could be better, you know? Like, for instance, I, for the life of me, couldn't understand at the time, what is Deku's hair color? Is it green with black or black with green? And then recently, Goat had me find out it is green with black. So this is technically wrong, and I hate it just for that aspect alone. So that was the first thing I hated about it. Secondly, certain reactions really pointed out that this is just not a good drawing. It's like, I can agree, it's not. So I wish I could do better sometimes, but it's out now. And it currently has 1.8 million views, so 1.8 million people who only watched the fight, basically, has seen this image, and they have judged it harshly. And comparatively, I have judged it harshly myself. It's extremely dark green. Weird to say it like that, Fire Breather, but I say I missed everybody on my channel. I wouldn't be here if I didn't miss you guys, because if I just wanted to abandon you, I wouldn't have been back. Clearly, I felt bad as the years went by where I weren't be able to do anything, because I've essentially been avoiding even looking at any comments of my thing in general, because I was just so much of a fucking baby, to be perfectly honest. And then I realized I should probably be better, and that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Wait, I don't remember there being a dab in that fight. I thought you said during the side fight that your signature was... No, dude. Look. I can be cringe. Sometimes the cringe is hilarious, but other times the cringe gets lost in translation for certain people, Nathan. You don't know how many people I've seen do reviews and say, I hate Death Battle for trying to be cringe and appealing to the babies with their dabbing. And I'm sitting here like, I literally put dabbing in there because I thought it was funny. And I realized, maybe I should stop dragging Death Battle's name in the mud. The Machamp dab was probably my crowning achievement, alright? The Machamp dabbing will forever go down in infamy as the greatest dab that should never have happened. Because, holy shit, this should not have been a thing. Because I think I've said this story before. I will continue to say it. I will continue to say the story as much as possible. This was a joke that should not have been happened. Alright? This was a joke that should not have happened. I literally did this in the boards as a joke. And then it just so happened to go into editing and go into animation, and the animator put so much effort into it that they couldn't just let him not do it. Alright? And I, to this day, was like, alright, nothing's gonna top this. I think we're just gonna stop with the dabs, alright? I think it's perfectly fine. And start doing other things. Because I'm not sure if you noticed. Because I've been doing this other thing. I've been doing this other thing in certain death battles where I do T-poses. I don't know if you noticed them. This is not me. This is Al McClain. Al did this fight, and he and I have been doing this thing where we just sometimes do the closest thing to a T-pose we can with some of these fights. I've been doing it a bit, and so I try to mix it up a little bit. Do other types of current humor. I've since been doing a new thing with my current boards, and you'll start seeing if you've been following my stuff. So I didn't want dabs to be the thing, considering that it has been poisoning the well, so to speak. In my opinion, a lot has gotten better because they act like a family, and then still living strangers living in the same house. Okay, hopefully. Yeah, no, I really love that fight in general. That was Black Marine highlights. Yeah, same. It's so weird. I love pointing out your art style when watching Death Battles now. Yeah, like, it's clear. Like, whenever I'm doing a thing, it's very obvious which one I did. I think it's almost impossible not to distinguish my art style from anyone else's. I think the closest you can get is the SpongeBob, but that's about it. You made are meant to be inside jokes for your work. At first, when I first did Miles vs. Static, and the first dab was in Miles vs. Static, it was literally a joke, where even I have to believe it wasn't even intentional. Because when so it's supposed to be like, he does the hey thing, he puts the thing, and then shocks them. And then I had him do this as a means to shielding his eyes from the initial blast, but it looked like a dab. It wasn't on purpose. I mean, at least 87% sure that was my mentality at the time. But as soon as they actually made it a dab and people started pointing out the fact that it was a dab, I'm like, oh, wow, that story was a dab. Then I started doing it purposely. Thinking that it was just to be like an inside joke. And I was like, you're the animators. You don't have to put the dab in, right? You don't have to follow my boards to the letter, but it looks like they do sometimes. The dabs were a thing that stayed. It's like, okay, this is gonna be my signature. If you know I did this fight, if you definitely know I did this fight, if I snuck in a dab somewhere. Now I realize that really shouldn't be my fucking moniker. Now should it? Is there an upcoming battle I'm excited to draw? Let me see something. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. I have 7 upcoming battles that I am excited to draw. And in these 7 battles, if you see a dramatic shift in quality between all the other battles that are going to be part of that, it's probably because I enjoyed myself a little too much. And that's it. I'd say the current season that we had was good. Had some pretty good fights that I could say that I enjoyed myself a little bit. I'm not gonna look. It is not a mystery anymore, and it's perfectly okay for me to say this. I board every single death battle. Any death battle you see, Gogeta versus Vegito, Deku versus Asta, Sauron versus Lich King, Jason Voorhees, every single fight I do. It used to be sometimes every once in a blue moon, a swordboarder named Al does a fight. But he has recently left Rooster Teeth, so it's now strictly me. I am the guy. I do every single fight. And I appreciate that. Here's the thing about Trunks versus Silver and pretty much any Sonic fight. I hate them personally, purely because I'm too good at drawing Sonic characters, and I don't like that. In Archie Sonic versus Flash, I was really good at drawing Sonic. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Then Shadow versus Ryoko came, and I was really good at drawing Shadow. And I was like, okay, this is starting to get kind of scary. And then you have the trifecta of Silver coming in, and I'm really good at drawing Silver. I used to be a guy who was the Sonic fan that you would expect Sonic fans to be, the joke Sonic fan, where, oh, look at my OC, self-insert, OC, please do not steal, that sort of stuff. And I was trying to draw Sonic characters, and I was really bad at it. And now that I found out that I'm really good at drawing it now, it's kind of scary. But I appreciate the enjoyment of Trunks vs. Silver. Because, yeah, I enjoyed that fight too. Mostly because it gave me an excuse to make Trunks as badass as humanly possible, considering that he was going to lose. Thankfully, I don't think there's going to be another Sonic matchup for a bit. I think if we are going to get another one, maybe Knuckles from Archie or Tails again. Because here's the thing, I don't expect, like, Rouge or, God forbid, Big the Cat coming in. Like, if we do Big the Cat versus anybody, I think I'm gonna actually just quit before we get to it. Yeah. I was just surprised on how that came out. Vid versus Patrick. I thought Patrick was reserved for Ed. Big versus Garfield. I have heard that too. Big the Cat versus Beerus. Now, is it Archie Big the Cat? Because then you have an argument. A lot of Archie characters in general collapse many different verses due to the amount of obscene bullshit that they were able to get away with. Which is why, to this day, I'm still surprised Flash beat Archie Sonic. Like, I'm still a little bit on the fence about that decision. That's how much I revere the power level of these characters. There you are. I actually don't know how long this stream is supposed to go on for. I'm pretty sure it's just going to end once we actually finally run out of conversational topics. Is there anything else that you need to ask, like, throughout the 2 years I've been gone? This is the open time to do so. Right. I guess I can do this call to action. If y'all have any ideas for streaming stuff that you like, I can put it on, like, a little list and see if we can do it. Like, tier list ideas and other stuff like that. Omega? I don't know. Robot characters. I guess is it. Like, I don't know a good Omega fighter that isn't just they're also a robot. That's just it. I don't think I can actually set up gameplays like that. I want something that is just straight to the point, chill, not needing to do much editing or worry about YouTube copyright problems. If there is a game that is very easy to set up on, then I might do it. Like Vampire Survivor, for instance, seems to be an easy thing to just kind of do. Yeah, no. I mean, I'm already I'm in Alabasta right now in the new One Piece Odyssey. I've been going off and on it because work. But yeah, no. I will say it's the easiest RPG I've played ever. But I got the game because I like the character interactions and One Piece characters, not so much for the gameplay. Yeah. But all in all, yeah, no, One Piece Odyssey is great. Also, yeah, I make this joke with Goat. I think One Piece Odyssey is hilarious in forms of the reason as to why your characters are in level 1. Like in God of War, Fimbulwinter has taken away all your godly powers and essence in your weapons. And also, Kratos used all the armor in the first game. That's it. Metroid, you're not allowed to use your extra stuff unless you're authorized to. Other games, oh, this evil witch casts a spell and now you're back to level 1. Oh, Zekrom came in and nerfed Pikachu. You know, that sort of stuff. But One Piece, racism. Just straight up. The reason why you're at level 1 is thanks to racism. I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, that's just it. Like, I love how everyone's just standing there letting this girl just blup, 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 blup. I just, Luffy's the only person who dodges her. I'm like, why didn't everyone else do that? Until he got distracted with his hat. It's like, all pirates are bad. All pirates. Even though I know nothing about you. Like, okay. So how do we get our powers back? Okay, you gotta get the cubes. Okay, there's these small cubes, you get your powers back, but these bigger cubes, you have to go through, like, a memory rewrite thing, but know that the memories will not always... Come on. Yeah, it's just a casual side stuff. She wasn't that fast. They just let it happen. Like, wow. I just thought it was kind of funny. But yeah, still, I love the game. I love the game. It's cool. Okay, is that isn't One Piece Grand Adventure? That's actually good. Yeah. It's called One Piece Odyssey, and it's an RPG. It's set basically filler, essentially. It does its own thing. I like it so far. The only problem I have right now is that my boy Brook has been relegated to Spirit and is just there, and I really wanted to play as him. But I'm pretty sure he might come later in the game because there isn't a trophy implying that he does, so yeah. I'm like, boy, okay, sure. Are you caught up? You caught up with One Punch Man? Oh yeah. Yes, I am caught up with One Punch Man. Oh man, not too long ago, I uploaded something on our private server. Just how excited I am that it's finally freaking happening. Saitama versus Tatsumaki is happening. Other people are like, oh, it's probably not going to happen. Look how powerful Saitama is compared to Tatsumaki. It's not going to be a fight. The thing about the fight was the fact that Saitama stomps. Saitama stomps all the fucking time. The point of the fight is character development with Tatsumaki and her ideals, which is what I appreciate. And I like the rewrite in making her defect into becoming as sadistic as she is a lot better. Oh, cool. Overpriced. I understand with the. I think it was One Piece. What was that open world One Piece game with Luffy going around the place? One Piece Legacy. World Seeker, yeah, World Seeker, One Piece World Seeker. That I understand because when I first saw One Piece World Seeker, I'm like, man, this is a next gen One Piece game. This is gonna be great. And then the gameplay was repetitive. Things got really boring really immediately, and yeah, things were not going too well. It's like $3 now on PlayStation Plus, and I still don't want to buy it. So yeah, I understand that you would think there's another 5 out of 10 One Piece game, but One Piece Odyssey actually is really good. Primarily because, one, unlike World Seeker, you actually have the greatness that is the character interaction with all the other Straw Hats on Jump. So yeah, and also the story just seems relatively more interesting overall. Yeah. It's not just the fact that the girl is racist, right? I also like the new character with the guns. I think he's pretty cool. And there's the entire mystery aspect because, as per usual, Robin with her fucking ability just to be the most, like, I want to know more about Place's character in the entirety of the Star Hats crew. Clearly showcases that something else is up on this island. Good Bleach game. Dude, Bleach Soul Resurrection is probably the only good Bleach game we're going to get forever. And even then, that's still like a 7. Yeah. I hope, due to Bleach's new anime, anime continuation, that, you know, it would warrant another game. Am I kidding? Sadly. Well, yeah, that's gonna happen for a bit. Universal-Fro is now the new guy. So if you're interested in Universal-Fro, you're here. If you are ever looking for, do you want to be a Universal Brony again? He's gone. I've consumed his essence, and now that makes me the new runner of the channel, or however I'm doing this. Yeah, it was. At the time. But after a while, I kind of got sick and tired of people constantly asking what the actual DYWTBA means, along with the fact that it just does not roll off the tongue as much as I needed to. And while it is a unique name, Universal-Fro is actually another unique name because apparently no one else has it. So, hopefully it grows on you. It's the best I got. Thanks. It is a name that I, for some reason, cannot believe I didn't come up with first, to be perfectly honest. Looks like the ultimate power move. The newest enemy looks like the ultimate power move. Yeah, yeah. Alright, let's see here. Let me bring this back up. Alright, give me tier list ideas. And I start doing that probably next Saturday or so. Just have something else to do while we're just mucking about. I do appreciate the love for the new username. I will do my best to actually comply with my newfound standing of doing these streams in honor of it. And hopefully do something else if I have the time. Yeah, that is something to get used to. Death Battle tier list. Okay. The Death Battle tier list is gonna be weird because I have a system in place for particular Death Battle tier lists, in that I judge it on a scale of 1 to 10, but I judge it on a scale of 1 to 10 with 2 different brackets of 1 to 10. So there's a 1 to 10, and I agree with the outcome, and there's a 1 to 10, and I don't agree with the outcome. So there's 20 sections. Oh, yeah, I like that. And there's ones like that out there that's a good one. I might do that one. Heartless designs have always been interesting to me for when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. I'm seeing people draw pictures and discuss topics, so maybe a discussion chain where your next art project. That's definitely something I was hoped to do. Dan Revenge tier list. Alright, if there is actually something like that. Yeah, as for the drawing, my next art project kind of thing, I have to wait until I'm done with this other thing. So maybe after March, I can start doing stuff like that. Alright, so far so good. I'm going to be setting this up for next stream, next Saturday. And hopefully it gets to come up with our stuff. Because these streams are not really going to start picking up until after the new season of Death Battle comes in. I have no clue when that's coming out. so don't ask. So we actually have a proper line of a thing. The only thing we can do now is talk about the other death battles for the past 2 years that I wasn't able to talk about. I believe the last death battle. Hold on. Last death battle that I was able to talk about was Zuko versus Todoroki. Yeah. Yeah, the last death battle that I was able to talk about with you guys was Zuko versus Todoroki, if I remember correctly. You can even do a culture tier list if you want. I I'm very bad at reading in between the lines. So what exactly do you mean by culture tier list? Because I have a thought, but like, what exactly do you mean? So Flash versus Sonic. Hmm. Oh, it's hentai tags pretty much. Oh, you're talking about that. Is there just a tier list for just hentai tags? Then again, you know, I'm not. I shouldn't be surprised. Y'all are weird. I don't know. Yeah, there's tier list for everything, so it's like I really should not be that surprised. Yeah, maybe. No. It's like again, we're all hopefully adults here. That's the whole thing about YouTube. You can just lie about your age and just act the way you want, but that's just it. Depends. So Flash versus RC Sonic, I had a decent time with this. I had a decent time with this matchup. Thought it was good. Uh, Not entirely on the outcome. So there. Then there's the boys battle royale. I did a side roll, half of one thing. Al did the other half. It was all right. It was definitely an episode that happened. Uh, Venom versus Corona was fun. Mostly because I loved Corona as a character from Soul Eater, and I thought he did a pretty good job. Definitely agree with the outcome, but comic book fans say otherwise. Saber versus John Talbane was definitely something that I did not expect to like, mostly because, well, I've never been really good at drawing furries, so I'm not too much surprised. Well, I was actually pretty decent at it, and thankfully that these guys, well, mostly John, has a lot of sprites to work off of. Saber Wolf was kind of like definitely weirder. I agree with the outcome of John Talbane, despite not knowing much about either character. Did not work on the Red versus Blue one. That was somebody else at the time. But I did do Batgirl versus Spider-Gwen. And here's the thing about Batgirl versus Spider-Gwen. Batgirl versus Spider-Gwen has gone down to be one of the least liked ones of this season. And as much as I would love to say that I'm partially responsible for that because it's due to my boards, and the direction's bad, right? The problem is there's a few things about like the structure system of my boarding with the actual setup that people are given when they do the battle. And I think it's just a matter of poor communication on the part, and we've since bettered that. Yeah, since bettered that. Hold on, I think. There we go. There was a lot of things when given this fight that I myself didn't understand when trying to adapt the script, along with the fact that I did not know what the environment was going to be like when they gave me the script in general. So I just put things in places that I thought they were going to be, and they were going to be placed in where I put them. But then the placements were different, so it made the animators have to compromise and forcibly put them in those locations which messed with the overall continuity of shots. And then there were certain things that didn't make sense to me personally, but again, this is the director's vision, and I try to follow them to the letter. And I'm gonna just preface this. People did not like in the fight that she just kind of ripped the webs. But in my boards, she uses her wrist stuff to cut it, which makes a lot more sense. And then there's the scene where she catches the explosive batarang, just says, "Oh, well then," and then explodes. And then people didn't like that because it's like, Spider-Gwen, why didn't you just throw it? In the initial boards, I did have her throw it, but they wanted to be a comedic moment like that. So it's more along the lines of, I myself tried to fix it, but the vision was they wanted it to be a funny moment. And then there are other moments there where, like, the webbing is supposed to be clearly on her holster. Oh, right, sorry. It's supposed to be clearly on her holster and stuff like that. There was just a lot of things that was just poorly miscommunicated. And not to say that my boards were better than the episode itself, or that the episode would have been done better if they followed my boards better. It's just clearly there was a few differences amongst the two that definitely did not jive well. And I wish we could have did a little bit better job on it. All right. If Xehanort versus Palpatine was an actual death battle instead of a DBX, who would win? Xehanort. Xehanort would beat Palpatine primarily. Okay, even if we get... Okay, I've heard some crazy scaling for Palpatine. And let's give that crazy scaling, because YouTube... you can't say... You can't type fuck in the chat. Because, like, Krona, every time you type in a curse word, YouTube does this thing where it kind of tries to kick you out, and I have to push a button saying it's okay for that comment to be read by things. It's just YouTube's policy. It's weird. Even if we get Palpatine, everything that you can probably ever give him. Give him, like, fucking planetary scaling. Like, planetary scaling. He can drain planets. He can do all this other stuff. Xehanort, by himself, is just universal. In base. Just standing there. When he gets the Keyblade, he's multi-universal, just straight up. He's just too strong. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts scaling. He's like, there's a time where Versus Wiki, we don't like Versus Wiki all that much, but sometimes Versus Wiki does have some things on lock. Do not take everything Versus Wiki says at face value. Do not do that. But don't discredit the fact that when they actually do, in fact, do some research, don't discredit that. But when they scaled Kingdom Hearts to just moon and like planet level, they are crazy. They were crazy. They since fixed it, but my god, it was a dark day. Like, oh my god. Oh. Alright, one, yeah. Kingdom Hearts, it's crazy. YouTube. I mean, seriously, that once maybe. Not much. But this too. Yeah. YouTube, Twitter, a bunch of different places have been kind of I don't know. It's just definitely bad. Most fake characters are like, no. Website. Yeah. like again, don't take everything Versus Wiki has at face value. Definitely, I'd say the best Versus Wiki has for versus people is to go there, get a general understanding on where you think they are put, and then do your own research yourself. Because definitely not the best way. It's a nice jumping off point, but don't use it as the Bible. Yeah, hard characters can low key throw hands with DC top tiers, yeah, straight up. Which is why back in the day when Sora versus Pit came out, and I'm like, Pit is going to get absolutely destroyed, and there is not a single thing anyone can do to stop it. And then when I watched the episode itself, they actually made it somewhat on the same level as each other. I'm like, that, no, no, stop it. Look, I love me some Pit. Pit from Kid Icarus Uprising. He's one of my favorite characters, but that was a mismatch if I ever seen one power-wise. Around because it's Battle of Universal, like, I can see that. Then there's Ultraman versus the Boys. We need a modern Death Battle of Sora episode, man. Yeah, tell me about it. What's another good Sora fight? I actually don't know. Yeah, Rock Lee versus Sanji. Yeah, once you get into the fact that the scaling in One Piece after the time skip is ludicrously, wow. Yeah, no, there was no way that Lee was gonna get on Sanji's level, especially now. Like, screw wherever Sanji was 2 years ago. Sanji now is freaking ridiculous. So if this wasn't already accurate before, it's accurate now, straight up, like without question. Rex? Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Heck, funnily enough, if you do Rex versus Sora, you can actually make it Sora, Donald, and Goofy versus. You can actually make it Sora, Donald, and Goofy versus Rex, Pyra, and Mithra. Weirdly enough. To be honest, that actually makes sense. And you can even have this thing where then you have the final form with Rex and I think it's Paloma or something, the green-haired one, versus Sora with his final stage, final form Sora. That would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, I want that fight now. Give me that fight, Death Battle. Do it. I'd love to board that fight. Yeah, I think Rex is good because Rex can be scaled to multi-universal. I'm not going to agree that he's multi-universal, but he can be scaled. It can be wanked. it is possible. We can pull it off. I just still think Sora probably wins. Donald would die first, right? I don't think no one's gonna die because since apparently people really want to do this thing where gameplay mechanics do interpret the power level of a character. Like saying, Sora can't have any of his dry forms because he needs the power of Goofy and Donald to be able to do it. Even though in gameplay, you literally get Valor Form and Goofy's right the fuck there. Meaning that, no, that's strictly a gameplay thing to not make the thing overpower you. Whatever. So if you are going to do that stupid nonsense of that you need your character to do dry forms, they need to be alive in order for him to become final form Sora. And I would like that to be the final reason as to they go back and forth. Besides, if we're going to true scaling, Donald would not die in the fight because he knows Zeta Flare. So if he's actually going to die, he's going to die killing. He's going to die killing Rex. Hulk versus Broly. Once again, I agreed with this matchup when it first came out because it's like, yeah, Broly's pretty freaking strong and gets stronger. But I've also read a few things with the. Didn't Kingdom Hearts 3 change that? Change what? Change the fact that Donald, be more specific. Because I brought up the fact that Donald knows Zeta Flare and what we got. versus Dan. The rage issues, sadly. If we're going with Donald, Donald wins. Dry forms. Right. In the end, though, yeah, I guess dry forms won't really matter. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess in the end, dry forms won't really matter because Keyblade transformations are just as good, if not better, than dry forms anyway. So that'll just be used. Yeah, thanks, Jack. That's actually a good point. Oh, versus blew my mind when. Yeah, like, did not expect Broly to win. Yeah, like I thought Broly was gonna win because I just thought he was more powerful. But I wrote some comics and saying that we kind of misinterpreted a few things and that Hulk is a lot stronger than we give him credit for. Which I agree. Yeah, Hulk definitely got a little bit of a short end of the stick of his power output. But in the end, I still believe Broly has it, even though I'm almost entirely certain there's some crazy high-end freaking comic book feat that goes beyond anything Dragon Ball has ever even hoped to conceive. But until otherwise, I like the fact that Broly won because current canon Broly is my favorite character in Dragon Ball. And that's also true. He does have sensus that could actually help in the fight. Ah, yes. Yoda versus King Mickey. Being a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, I was happy that we got King Mickey to represent Kingdom Hearts, and finally we got a good Kingdom Hearts thing that really showcased that Kingdom Hearts characters are freaking powerful. And I love Yoda. I thought he was great. This fight was really good on many aspects. I also agree with the outcome. Shadow vs. Ryuko, I'm going to just be quick and precise. Not a fan of this fight. Never been a fan of this fight. Always hated the concept of this fight purely because of their because of the designs and yada yada and shit like that. And a lot of people have some problems with the fight. A lot of people, for understandable reasons, do not. I agree with the outcome because it's pretty obvious who wins, and that's another reason why I didn't want this fight. And I just hate the fact that I knew how to draw Shadow too well. Also, another fight that really just had me have to do most of the work for animation wise. Yeah, and this was also another thing that people needed to find out about me. I'm really good at eyeballing shit. Like, straight up, if you ever find me drawing anything, a few of my friends can attest to this. I am really good at looking at something and drawing it. Really good. So throughout the entirety of that transformation sequence, I was constantly going frame by frame in the actual transformation sequence of the anime and doing my best to replicate it. And I'm happy how it came out. Sure, the FPS could be a little bit better, but that's it. I only had like a week. I did my best, guys. So yeah, cool. All in all, I like the animation of the fight. I just think the fight didn't need to exist. Does that make sense? Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Lex Luthor versus Doctor Doom. Comic book fight. Two egomaniacal maniacs just basically having a pissing contest the entire fight. Yeah. Observational drawing. Exactly. Yeah. And sometimes people are like, yeah, no, this is really good, and kind of get the false impression that I do other things, but like I get it. I also have examples of me doing observational drawing. I think actually it should be on my Demon Art actually. Yeah, one of my biggest examples of observational drawing is back when I was just doing these random little things. I love the One Punch Man stuff that Murata was doing, and I just replicated that by putting on a sketchbook and constantly doing shot by shot by shot. And I was like, yeah, no, and this is just me looking at the exact thing and just replicating it the best way I possibly can, and just recreating various moments from either the anime or the manga when it went all slideshowy. Yeah. And so, when people ever think, man, dude, you is getting like really close to the source material, it's because I am working from the source material. Yeah. He's really good. It's what inspired me to start doing like animation work after watching how he was able to just pull it off just like that, and thus sparking my drive to do my Ruby versus Nobody Cries for Nothing series, which then got me noticed by Death Battle, which then got me my job. So all in all, Murata is my hero in every sense of the phrase. So yeah, no, like all in all, I don't blame anybody for thinking negatively about how I get stuff done because in the end they don't know how I work, but that's fine. Hopefully with these streams they can actually start finding out how I work and just be talking about it. Because I am weird. I have said this multiple times on multiple occasions, and I am one of the weirdest individuals on this planet, and I do not know why. But yeah, I agree with this outcome, by the way. Dr. Doom is just broken, and he could have been way more broken. Heihachi versus the Geese. Another good one. Lex is going to hit his ass. Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty much a one-sided thing, because just like with Lex versus Iron Man, it's like Lex's whole thing is that he makes his machines mostly tailored to Kryptonian / Superman. So if you're not a Kryptonian / Superman, you're probably going to have an easier time beating Lex. Not to say that Lex doesn't have any like good devices against other people, but normally any of his other opponents are just better and more powerful than him because they specialize in a broader or wider array of things where a person doesn't have a clear-cut weakness, you know? A lot of people say Gilgamesh versus Doom is a good matchup. I don't know anything about that. The resident Fate fan that is Krona knows a lot more about Gilgamesh, and he does not agree with that statement. And I'm not touching that. But Heihachi vs. Geese was good. I was surprised how good this actually turned out to be. A good hand-to-hand, 2D side-scrolling type of fight. That was pretty good. I also agree with the outcome. Mostly because I know nothing about either of these characters to the point of even making that big of a... It would look cool, though. If there's one thing you need to know about Krona, the last thing he cares about is if something looks cool. He wants it to make sense. And then there's and then there's this fight. Blake versus Mikasa. Doomslayer because Master Chief just gets demolished. That's just it. I think Kratos is a good one at this point. Kratos at that point. Because Kratos has... I want Kratos to come back. Whether it be Doomslayer, Asura, or Thor, it doesn't matter. Even though Thor will be coming back another time, but in the end, I just want to see my boy Kratos back and represented properly this time. But that's just it. When it comes to I think to right a wrong, you would have to do Doomslayer versus Master Chief because we did it because they did. I wasn't at Death Battle time. They did Doomslayer versus Master Chief and Doom Guy at that point lost. At this point, that is clearly not a correct matchup. So we kind of need to be a rematch to show just how broken Doomslayer has become over the past few years and how not as powerful as he is as Master, how powerful Master Chief is not to him. But in the end, if he needs another opponent, I think Kratos would work. And I don't know who wins that fight. Primarily because Kratos at this point has changed in forms of power output. Not to say he's not so strong. It's the fact that it's just he's a different level of strength now. It's kind of weird. But yeah, Blake versus Mikasa. Obviously, I knew Blake was gonna win because Mikasa is just is basically just a woman with swords, compared to someone who actually has powers and abilities. Not to say it's a complete one-sided matchup, but it's definitely something that's more on Blake's side. I also don't get the connections all that well. I'm sure other people do. I, to this day, still don't get it, but sure. Yeah. Iron Fist versus Poe. Definitely agree with the outcome of this, and definitely had a lot of fun with this matchup because I'm happy to actually represent Poe, because Poe is one of my favorite characters in in most fiction, actually. Steven versus Star, as much as I love Steven comparatively to Star, I knew that Steven wasn't going to take this in slightest because the whole universal scaling and whatnot. And I have some grievances when it comes to certain scaling purposes with her character, but whatever. It was a fight that I did animation work on. And people thought I gave Steven boobs, but it was actually just the silhouette, and it was his pecs, but whatever. Biceps, triceps, but whatever. My guess is because of color black. I guess. Maybe. It could be surface levels, I don't know. Oh, look. Vegeta versus Gogeta. A great DBX that I hope never actually becomes an actual fight. I'm joking. A kid. Yeah, it was. Link versus Cloud. Happy we redid this fight, because this was one of those fights where I'm like, we need to redo this fight primarily because Cloud was done dirty. All right, Cloud is a lot stronger than you give him credit for. Happy you gave him the buff that he certainly needed, deserved, I guess, and made it more of a close matchup for the fact that versatility versus actual sheer power and also versatility. But yeah, happy about this fight. Happy how this also came out. One of the better Blender fights, to be honest. Batman versus Iron Man. I have stories for this fight, but I can't say any of them. So just know that the stories do exist, and they're out there, and I have them. I just cannot say a single one. Look. I'm not the above all be all here. I can't really preface and say whatever it is. I just believe that the Gogeta versus Vegeta exists to have fun. I think that's it. And not everyone's gonna like that, and I understand. But it looks like they just want to have fun, have an unorthodox, off the walls battle with no horse bar, 2 DBZ characters, and that's fine. But in this, I can understand people's disdain for it. I can understand people's like for it. I'm quarter just in the neutral category of it's a fight that I did and I enjoyed doing it, and that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, that's actually kind of shocking. They didn't do. They have it so that he wishes for them to fuse and didn't have them see. That's actually kind of weird. They didn't spend time for an ass out of that. I was just actually kind of iffy about that. It's kind of weird. Batman vs. Iron Man. Batman back again. Hey, there you go. Batman back at it again with another dep out where he loses. Yeah. And then you have my personal favorite fight that I ever got to do. Goku Black versus Reverse Flash, which was just the fight that actually put my art on the map for once. All me. All me. And I'm, to this day, like, wow. My thing became a meme. Cool. Neat. I think I finally achieved something in life, Mom. I think you could find some things on Twitter. I'm pretty sure somebody did some stuff on Twitter. Yeah, honestly shocked. Yeah, I believe, yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't do Macho Man versus Kool-Aid Man. That was Al. And I believe he did a fantastic job on that. There were certain things that I wish they brought up when it comes to Macho Man scaling, but it's like they kind of glossed over some things that he can scale to, considering that certain other wrestlers have higher end feats that he should scale to. It's weird to say it like that, but it's true. Oh yeah, I killed Kaito. I completely forgot. I also killed Kaito in this episode. Oh yeah, there he is. Oh, you poor. Ah, man. Eh, people who watched the episode thought it was Wiz, and I was like, yeah, I can see by the hair you can think it's Wiz, but he didn't have a robotic arm or anything like that, or skinny figure, or basically any other thing that would make him so that he's Wiz. It, uh, but yeah, whatever you want to believe. The fact that I had to do my boy Kaito dirty like that, I actually feel kind of bad. Hmm. Hmm? Oh yeah, I also died in an episode. I completely forgot about that. I did do that. I did also die. So I guess it kind of evens out, right? Oh, there I am. Yeah, there I am. Yeah. You know, it's not. Not everybody can get to say I died in a death battle. You know, not everybody can say that. You know, I should feel proud. Their battle history, they couldn't find a single feat for a character. Aquaman. Yeah, he pushed trash once. The Universal-Fro was basically a passion project. If there was a single episode I have to say that I was excited to get to, it is definitely this one. I put way too much effort into this, and for good reason. Dio is one of my favorite antagonists in fiction, and Alucard's one of my favorites, at least memed up thanks to Helsing Ultimate Abridged characters in fiction. So I was like, yes, happy to do this. Really happy how this came out too. And there's Akuma versus Shao Kahn. Again, stories about this episode. Can't say a single one of them. Can't say a single thing about it. But what I can say is I did my best. I believe everyone did their best. Did not come out as great though. Korra versus Storm. The one episode where I actually thought about getting back into Korra because I was drawing Korra and doing doing the fight. I was like, maybe I'm interested again. And then I remembered all the negative things I've had when the first season. I was like, okay, maybe not. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna hold it back a little bit. Yeah, but Korra versus Storm. I agree with the outcome, 100%. Storm sweeps pretty easily, but I thought it was good. Madara versus Aizen. As happy as I am with how this episode came out, obviously, if you've been on my DeviantArt and have seen the boards, there's been a lot that was cut out for good reason. Not enough time to get everything out of the way, and there have been some detractors about who should have won this fight, and I think I can say that I am kind of on the fence as well because, man, I thought it was clear cut that Aizen wins. It's not that I can't be happy that my favorite character, that being Madara, won, but I understand that people can disagree with the outcome of this fight. And then Saitama versus Popeye. I only did certain parts of this fight, and I'm happy how it came out. It was me and Al who did this fight. I did like 2 or 3 moments, and that's about it. So I think he did a pretty good job. Yeah, I just want I'll tell you that I was thinking of deleting the old fan art I made of you. It's fine. You can just I was a kid. Me, yeah, that's fine. Do whatever you need. We're almost there. Almost there. Harley Quinn versus Jinx. Yeah, I agree with the outcome. Had fun with the fight, and drawing female characters was great, especially when the next episode was also two female characters. Zatanna versus Scarlet Witch, also a pretty good fight. Pretty much agree with the outcome. Mostly because I know nothing about these characters and for their higher end feats, so I just like, okay, cool, I guess. Another passion project, Jonathan Joestar versus Tanjiro. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Demon Slayer fan, but I'm a huge fan of JoJo, and part 1 is a good part. Jonathan is a good freaking character. I was happy to represent him in a proper way. Thor versus Vegeta. Definitely agree with the outcome because Thor is just broken compared to what Vegeta has been scaled to at this current point in time. Thought the fight was pretty decent. Good. Omni-Man versus Homelander. Now this was the first fight that I was in charge of doing that was purely 2D hand-drawn animated. And so it was a lot different to board this fight than it was to board other fights, because usually it's like you can pretty much get away with not having the background for a lot of shots, but I needed to have a background in every single shot, and a lot of things need to be handmade and tailored to the fact of the limitation of hand-drawn assets and shit like that. And I did my best, and I think it came out perfectly well. And even though this is literally just Let's Kill Homelander the episode, I think it was great. Magneto vs. Tetsuo was another great episode that I was able to work on. I love Akira the movie. I love Akira the movie, and Magneto is one of the actual anti-villains that I thought is really that says something. I like both these two and their power output. Make a new fan art and prove it. Make a someone. So it was my own. Dude, I do that all the time. It's called any artwork I ever do. I do that. I like if I had to choose whether or not to never show my art to people, I'd probably choose never show my art to people until I realize that being afraid of that is why I never seem to feel like I'm improving. So yeah, no, man. Like, I'm not gonna force you into anything. Just if you're gonna make your own decision, make that decision. Hercules vs. Sun Wukong. Hate the thumbnail, but hey, I like the fight. Sun Wukong, one of my favorite myths period, and Hercules is a pretty decent challenge for him. Ruby joke from that one. Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of surprised they didn't do Sun Wukong from the actual Ruby show as like a joke. Proud of their restraint, I guess. Love That vs. Predator. Lots of problems with this fight, according to many people who watched the reviews and reviewed it. I think the final product came out as good as it could with the time allotted. Yeah. And I did my best. There was a few things that I think I could have changed to make a certain moments impact a little bit better. Like, for instance, it wouldn't have helped the final moment where you have the Yaksha about to deliver the final blow and just suddenly stops. If I had it so that Boba Fett spun around while also deactivating the lightsaber, it would have helped with the flow a little bit better, because then you can have him fully commit to the final swing down. And then as he finds out he didn't hit anything, he looks around and he can't find the clearly still glowing lightsaber until eventually it's too late and he reignites it when he's about to slice him down. That's something that's hindsight, what I would have done to make that scene a little bit better, make more sense. But, Good. The extra episode of Excalibur versus Raiden. A group effort with, I think this would be the final group effort with me and Al, where he did his best with as much as he could until I took the reins with the rest of what he couldn't get done. John Wick versus James Bond. While I did not like this fight initially in forms of the matchup because you're essentially having a guy with 2 movies versus a guy with a billion movies and a bunch of stuff to take from, Jason Bourne would have been at least a better matchup because at least they have at least a better like back and forth of the fact that Jason Bourne doesn't have that many things going for him as much as John Wick does, but James Bond, he's just basically the goated indication. But I did like the fight in general for how they went back and forth with each other. Black Adam versus Apocalypse was a thing people have been asking for years. I did my best with it, and it was mostly the vision of the director on that point, not really much on me. Trunks versus Silver. Surprisingly, a lot of people's good matchup. Primarily because in the past, people didn't like this matchup because it's like it would just be a repeat of Vegeta versus Shadow. But in this case, once you put in Archie Silver and Dragon Ball Heroes Trunks, then it's like, oh shit, this is actually a debate again, and it was really close, extremely close, with Silver actually taking the edge and giving another victory for the Sonic side, and primarily for the Archie Sonic side. Yeah, happy how this one came out as well. Then, the joke episode of the season of SpongeBob versus Aquaman, as I already pointed out, of my contribution to this episode is actually pretty decent, and I thought, yeah, good fight. Like the message they were trying to get across with this one. Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers. I agree with the outcome. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. It was a fight. I'm not gonna delve deeper into it. Star Wars Luke King though, very good fight. Very good fight. Loved it. Really good in forms of, hey, yay. I know next to nothing about World of Warcraft, and I only know the surface level stuff of the Lord of the Rings movies with the 3 initial movies that they have. All because I wanted to watch them to understand a little bit more about Sauron. And I thought Sauron was going to absolutely be destroyed in this fight, purely because I saw the initial trilogy and he didn't seem like he had shit, to be perfectly honest. But thanks to outside lore and shit like that, Sauron is a force to be reckoned with. Deku versus Asta, I'm going to be in the same camp of saying that I would have preferred Deku versus Gon or Asta versus Meliodas. But with what we were given, and what I was given and had to work with, it's an anime fight. And speaking of the anime fight of anime fights, Gogeta versus Vegeta. Definitely a thing. That's it. So yeah. A lot of people say that this is a good season, and I would agree with them. I'm happy that I'm able to help with the quality of whatever I can with an episode. And I take pride in my work, and I take pride in this job, and I like this job. I love Death Battle since I was growing up with it, since Boba Fett versus Samus first came out. So to be part of this community and to be able to do something with it does make me happy. While on a fan side of things, I may disagree with certain things, but as a work kind of thing, I understand that we're doing the best that we possibly can. And there was a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, that needs to get worked out. And the general public won't be able to immediately get it. And sometimes I have to realize that's okay. And work with what we got. Go to Universal Vegeta has great music. That's it. Oh man. Okay. So, in any case, I think that's pretty much it when it comes to like topics that I have on hand. for the near 2.5 hours we've been speaking. If anyone has any like last minute things they want to talk about, I think it's around time to actually end off the stream and then see you guys next Saturday. What's the strongest version of Sun Wukong? Sun Wukong. That's it. The season had 3 rough matchups in it. In your base, winner matchups. So glad to know that you're doing well and having the wish. So in the future, Star Wars for videos. Yeah, see you next week. Pixar Mom tier list maybe. Okay, yeah, sure. I still don't get that big joke with the Pixar Moms thing, but sure, it'll be a fun little joke one. Not be in sync. So just start to say, yeah, that's fine. Well, my luck. Pokemon get dive again in general. Just 8, you know. Yeah. Good rest of it. All right, man. Yeah, y'all have a good rest of y'all days as well. We'll do tier lists and stuff and other types of topics. Again, these streams won't open up until the next season of Death Battle actually starts somewhere throughout this year. And yeah, now I can start talking about various things that I was able to get done and show off my processes. And when we get into March, hopefully I'll be done with the one thing that I'm trying to get done with, and I can just start drawing other things, and you guys can see my process on that, and so on and so forth. And if there's anything I gotta say about the current season from what you guys can already get from Bill Cipher versus Discord and Cole versus Alex, there was also another fight that was revealed at MagFest. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what it is unless you were at MagFest itself, but just know that another fight was announced there and people know about that fight. When it comes to this season, I believe that it's gonna be good. I think it since it's season 10, I would expect that we're trying to do like a special season 10 big milestone, the 10th season type of thing. So I think a lot of the episodes are gonna be well requested types of matchups that are gonna be either experimental, oddball, or otherwise. So take my word for it. I believe this season is probably gonna be my personal favorite to work on. Yeah. So if Bill Cipher versus Discord and Cole vs. Alex didn't already give you the indication that this season's going to be something to behold, just wait until the actual season starts. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with each upcoming episode. Yeah. Yeah. But all in all, yeah, no, I think that's basically it. I hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Please join the Discord if you have the ability to, so you can speak with me more often. Join Twitter, see my art on DeviantArt, and other stuff like that. You know, just understand that I'm alive in other locations aside from the YouTube where I've been gone for so long. So, yeah, I'll see you guys around. Bye.